All set to begin with the first panel discussion of the day. To begin with, the topic for the moment is connected TV advertising strategies, the innovative advertising approaches for connected TV, including programmatic advertising, addressable TV, and interactive ad formats. This wonderful session is all set to be chaired by Mr. Vikram Chande, General Manager and Sales Lead, Samsung Ads India. He'll be joined on stage by Prabhvir, Sahmey, Senior Director, Samsung Ads India, Prasad, Pimple, Executive Vice President and Head of Digital Business India, Kotak Live, Priyanka, Gandhi, Director, Integrated Brand Experience Lead, Colgate-Palmolive India, Sonam, Pradhan, Head Offline Media and Digital Marketing, South Asia, Kellanova, Udit, Mittal, Deputy General Manager, Head, Media Planning and Buying, Corporate Branding, Insights and Associations, IPs, TATA Motors, Passenger Vehicles, Vineet, Shah, General Manager, Madison Digital. Can I please request all our panelists and our respected moderator to kindly come up on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for them. Wonderful session, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward. तालियों की गूंज और जोर से हो सकते हैं. I believe we can do a lot better this side. Can we please clap louder, ladies and gentlemen? The first panel discussion of the day. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Thank you, sir. I'll leave it on you to take it over. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabh. It was an amazing presentation to start off the day with. I think just a quick show of hands. How many of you have one or more streaming service or an OTT subscription? If you can just put up your hands. And how many of you have 3 or more? Okay, we're good streaming. And how many of you have Samsung TVs? I think you'll have we can just meet outside for a discount chat. Cool. I think definitely connecting the dots from what Prabh just presented, and we have a further panel where we can discuss around how streaming and TV are going to fundamentally change our experience, and we have an amazing panel. I think possibly just to start off with Priyanka, I think this is going to be where FMCG vertical is going to be one of the biggest change makers when it comes to the experience. Overall, when you look at from a current television perspective and how this addressable TV phenomenon is changing, how do you see the linear TV experience moving forward when it comes to the smart TV revolution, and how streaming is going to impact how TV planning and buying is further going to change the entire landscape, purely when it comes to the decades of legacy that we have, and now we are stepping into a new tech platform ecosystem?
Yeah, so let me start with behavior, right?
Absolutely.
Firstly is content. So through connected TV, people have access to on-demand, different kinds of content. So obviously it is drawing in people and getting more people to watch it, which is also leading to this phenomena of people actually only wanting to use connected TV on what we call the cord cutters. So that is a sizable audience already in a few millions and likely to grow as years go by. Versus that we know that broadcast is still, widely available, similar things, scheduled TV choices and personalizations are limited. Then breaking it down to two things in how it helps brands or advertisers really leverage the medium. So one is, of course, targeting, right? Because connected TV and all these digital formats allow us to talk to audiences in demographics, geographies, which is something, we can time it, we can, so there are many more variables available for us to target versus broadcast, which is more, universally sent out and applied to and delivered to everyone. And the other thing is measurement, and I know Prabh also spoke about it. There is more precision in digital measurement, just from the point of view, you know exactly how many people have you reached, how many views have you had. And beyond that, you also get more metrics like how many have watched, for what duration, and engagement metrics that give you insights which is beyond just reach and, available. So versus we know TV is still panel out and sample out and is an estimate. So these are the broad things, 3 things that sort of differentiate it. How we and, CPG, and I will refer to always, to Colgate in some way, but, CPG or us, we have 2 core sets of segments. There is the broad core set of brands which are consumed massively. Colgate is consumed by everyone in India. 9 out of 10 households in India would have used a Colgate, product once in a year. Having said that, we still know that, in terms of how they consume the category, be it, the behavior of brushing at night. Do you want to take a guess how many people in urban India would actually brush twice a day?
Not many.
Okay, so it's as low as 20% in urban India. So, you know, these are the people who are more knowledgeable, aware, and, you know, should be able to change habit, but that's not happening. And then we have segments which are more premium segments, and driving premiumization is a task for us and a growth strategy. So there we want to really talk to the affluent people and talk to them about different benefits, and therefore reach out to them with more personalized communication. And we started this with whitening, which is a visible white toothpaste, right? Where we want to talk to people who are interested in sort of beauty. So the way we are using it is connected TV. While we started with premium audiences, is becoming an integral part of how do we do integrated video planning for them.
Absolutely.
So we try with as much of data and measurement that is possible to look at integrated reach. Everyone knows there are some sort of, you know, triangulation of data that is needed, but we're using all of those things to use that. And then there is the whole large experience piece of live events.
Yeah.
So we know that when there are big events like World Cup, there are new users who come in and, you know, watch. So we've started using it for large impact. And we know through our own sort of studies and some measurements that we've done, that we've actually reached out to people who we would have not reached out to through TV or other digital formats. So we are seeing some green shoots and learnings on how we are getting newer audiences. And the way I see it is, you know, this is how it's going to keep increasing as we want to drive personalization, want to talk to different people about different segments. So connected TV will start playing a key role in that audiences, whereas there will be a job of linear TV to do when it comes to sort of, you know, reaching people who are broader, with products which are broader in appeal, when you want to go to rural and, you know, more broad-based things.
Amazing, amazing. I think, Sonam, I think that is more, again, you as an CPG voice also can add to it. And specifically how critical it will be because CPG has always been one of the biggest spenders when it comes to TV advertising. Prabh just spoke about the market being 60,000 crores. I'm pretty much assuming CPG is right on top. So how do you think it is from a criticality perspective? How do you think CTV is going to make a fundamental shift or a change to what FMCG, how the FMCG world or CPG world advertised? And specifically when it comes to the configuration around linear programming and impact properties, how do you see that fundamental shift happening for CPG advertisers?
So I think I'll just take a step back. For us, the best part about it is that if you had to take the pros of television and the pros of digital, combine both of them, and that's what CTV is exactly. It gives you the benefit of a larger screen. It gives you the benefit of performance marketing as well. And this is exactly what brands need today. So when you have brands such as Kellanova, which has recently migrated from Kellogg's, so we do have product categories and all which are targeted especially to an affluent audience. Now this audience is always on the go. Someone who consumes muesli for that matter. Now we need them to have some kind of a call to action, and that's where CTV comes into the picture. So they play a role where you give them a big screen audience as well as a call to action that can be fulfilled. Now this is something that probably linear TV fails. Linear TV is used more for brand awareness. It is used for larger scale brand building practices. Now, there are other products that we have in our portfolio, which is cornflakes or chocos. And those are the products that work well when it comes to linear TV. But when it comes to CTV, it is bang on for the on-the-go kind of an audience. And that's what's critical to us in this period of time. Also, I would like to add, my journey in Kellanova is quite new, but I can come back with certain references from my past company, which was Mahindra Automotive. There, I have in fact seen an entire journey and evolution of using CTV for different kind of campaigns, right from using it from a regular campaign to adding it also to impact properties. Well, in fact, the recent Hotstar and Star Sports sponsorship that was done, that was one of the biggest highlights that we did, and we were so proud of it that CTV is an integral part of it. On the back of understanding that this not only reaches the affluent households, it is something that has now gone deeper into the roots of India. Wherever internet is accessible, you will see a CTV household, because nowadays most of your television sets that are sold, whether it's a 32-inch or a larger TV, it is a smart TV that is sold. So availability of data connectivity, availability of smart TVs, it is not just an urban phenomenon now. And that's how CTV becomes critical for all media plans.
I think that's a perfect context that you set up for Udit. I think, Udit, you are one of the largest commercial vehicle manufacturing company in India. And specifically, auto as a category has always seen TV as a big impact property. And obviously, it's a lakhs worth of investment a consumer makes. How do you see addressable TV now that we're getting a lot of insights of a household? How do you see that precision targeting in addressable TV making a change for you when it comes to your TV buying strategy?
Okay, so I think both the ladies has almost answered most of the content that I was about to speak.
You can pick up the sector.
So I have to pick a few points. So look, automotive has changed drastically in last 3-4 years. The behavior of consumer has changed drastically. Though we call our consumer as an HNI, considering the value of the product that they are buying, but when they go out into the market, it's from a mindset of a automobile consumer, they are now moving into a similar mindset of a consumer durable good or a FMCG kind of product, because we have seen the replacement period has decreased. We have seen lot of other behavioral and emotional changes that has happened into that. And similarly, their consumption of our marketing or our communication has also changed. Earlier, when we always targeted and we believed quite a lot in our linear TV campaigns, and we thought that it could suffice our requirements, we have of lately thought that it could bring them a visibility, but to pitch them again and again and to bring them into the on our dealerships require a lot more visibility, a lot more investment. That's where the programmatic media buying, the CTVs and all these platforms has come into place. Now with that precise positioning and, one more thing, since you have moved from Mahindra, you must have also heard about hyper-local campaigning. And that's very critical these days, because that's a very geographic as well as a very precise TG level marketing that we need to do, and with a very precise communication targeted only to that particular TG. So it has become very critical for us to keep on analyzing the data day in, day out, understand their online behavior in terms of how a consumer who has once come on our website or has inquired for our vehicle, how are they moving or how are they behaving on various other digital platforms. Then that helps us to that actually helps us to define our communication, that precise targeted communication which will attract them. And with that we have seen almost 30 to 40% higher recall or higher movement towards our brand as compared to earlier times.
Okay. I think definitely targeting is one of the key areas where linear was never able to provide that level of targeting, but addressable TV with a lot of insights that you get on the device level, the viewership level, gets you a completely new dimension how you reach out to a particular household. I think, Prasad, that brings forward a question. Obviously, ROI is the biggest narrative when it comes to digital, and Sonam just contextualized that perfectly, that best of TV and best of digital. But digital has always thrived on the back of what return on investment that you get, and you possibly can articulate that better, because performance marketing on purely, as soon as you get into digital, the matrix goes to the bottom funnel rather than the top funnel. How do you see from your digital journey, TV being more of the top of the funnel branding metric, how do you see it impacting the mid funnel and then the bottom funnel? Because ROI eventually is the goal. So is there anything that we can derive today from an addressable TV ecosystem where performance can be a play as well?
So most of the BFSI brands today, you correctly mentioned, they have become completely ROI driven. And because in digital, everything can be tracked end to end. The entire expectation is whatever spends you do, you should be able to demonstrate the ROI on top of it. Okay? That's how the nature of digital has become nowadays. Now, coming back to the performance marketing, which is more towards bottom of the funnel, what I believe, currently connected TV as an ecosystem is still at a nascent stage. When it comes to the reach and viewability, getting that some level of customer engagement in terms of completion rate and everything, the connected TV has reached there, it has significantly made its mark. But when it comes to the full funnel, that moving from the top of the funnel, whatever awareness I have built, how do I use that awareness for my mid-funnel marketing as well as for my bottom funnel marketing, that yet to be evolved completely. A lot of reasons around the same. For number one, that it's not a completely the ecosystem managed by one single partner. Multiple players are part of it, like TV manufacturers like Samsung is part of it. Then there are broadcasters who are part of it. OTT channel providers are part of it. Till the time they all come together and create that one single ecosystem, like Prabhvir mentioned during his presentation, that whatever insights one can get out of Samsung TV, he has made them open to be consumed for other players in the ecosystem, correct? Yeah. If that happens more across the system, I think then the real beauty of connected TV will come in performance marketing. Okay. Because today, how can I use connected TV? We have tried multiple things, apart from viewability and reach. So QR code has got used as one way through which the click can get converted into a journey start, correct? Absolutely. But again, with very limited success, again, not to blame consumers, but connected TV as a media is not to be used for such activities, correct? At least I do not have a ad inventory, I do not have a platform which is more prone towards such kind of consumer behavior. Absolutely. So that's one thing. Retargeting is, I think, where a lot of potential is there. Again, Prabhvir, I took that clue from his presentation. He talked about device to TV retargeting. I think that's a fantastic idea. If I can do such things from the retargeting perspective, because on mobile device, on all the digital platforms we currently use, so many consumer interests are getting generated. Yes, I agree that currently it is available only to the Samsung mobiles. But if it is getting available, I can retarget those consumers to move them back into the purchase journey, because unlike the FMCG brands, where the purchase happens in one single go, and many times it can be an impulse purchase as well. In case of life insurance, the consideration window is way too big. Consumers don't take that decision immediately. They have their long decision-making period. And during that period, if I need to hold their interest and the brand consideration, from retargeting perspective, it becomes a very important channel. And with lot of insights becoming open for the brands across the ecosystem. And I think there is a high time that a brand like Samsung can come forward and create that ecosystem before Google does it one day, to basically make that life simpler for marketers to do a full funnel, including the bottom funnel campaigns for end-to-end ROI-driven marketing strategy.
Work in progress, Prasad. I think, Vineet, this basically brings me to you, because you see things with a lot of set of clients, you meet them, you strategize for them. As just highlighted, that we are going to be like a 45 million household ecosystem which will be influenced by smart TV. How do you see that playing over when it comes to the total strategy of buying the screen, which can be either in totality or possibly from the smart TV or a connected TV ecosystem perspective? Because eventually, if the linear has to progress to a addressable TV, how do you see buying fundamentally change, and how do you see that planning also influenced by that?
So, Vikram, the way we look at it is basically there are two schools of thoughts. Now, at the forefront, we look at mobile to eclipse the linear TV reach in coming years. While currently, if I look at the connected TV, it's an extension of HD TV. Because if I have to reach out to the premium audiences, while back in the day it was HD channels, now connected TV is also complementing that reach. The second school of thought is connected TV in general is a surrogate of light TV viewers. Like if you would have seen the BARC report, it also reports high, medium and light TV viewers of TV. And technically the light TV viewers are anywhere in the range of 25 to 30% of the TV viewers. Now the idea is, can I get those users on connected TV? So that is the second school of thought that we apply for the CPG brands that I operate. And third, more importantly, for say brands who look at impact, how I can possibly, connected TV is still not as cluttered as other mediums, right? So how I can look at possibly oversizing my brand with an SOV buys over there. At the forefront from a CPG point of view, just a thumb rule is connected TV, while it is there for premium audiences or light TV viewers, it is still at a premium of say 30 to 40% to the regular buys that we do on say, the video buys that we do. Yeah. So the key is once the consumption goes up, the supply would go up, and once the supply goes up, the rates would come down. So currently, everybody is investing in a watchful manner who are cost sensitive. But I guess few years down the line, we would look at connected TV as an alternative possibly to begin with for an HD, in another 3 to 4 years, and then subsequently the larger game.
Prabh, I think what we have also seen over the year is that digital got touched by ad tech and a lot of things went automated. I think TV has been a space largely where automation was not there, and a lot of things that happened purely when it comes a lot of manual process. How do we see looking at the entire automation that is coming to TV? What changes or impacts do you see which will fundamentally change the TV planning, and how will ad tech influence TV buying per se from the overall perspective and the expansion of the programmatic ecosystem as well?
Well, I think for the benefit of the audience, while me and Chande talk about this every day, see what we have done, keeping in mind what some of our panelists have mentioned, is that we have not kept our buying platform, which is basis on fixed commitment. We actually chose the route of programmatic media, which means programmatic media was fundamentally created on the foundation of the right person at the right time with the right ad for the right price. So what we have done from the beginning of time for Samsung Ads in India is made this whole buying mechanism automated. So we're not forcing you to say, you give me a 15 lakh ROs and I'll figure out where I spend the money, which typically happens on television. You don't know where the money is actually getting spent. And we also know in traditional TV planning, from the time you plan the campaign to the time you execute the campaign, no campaign ever deliver 100%. So there's always a shortfall about a few 10 to 20%, and there's a carryover. So we didn't want to bring that into connected TV. So with the advent of ad tech, all the media that you buy on Samsung TV is actually bought programmatically, which means when we see all the conditions being met, which is, could be targeting, could be frequency, could be person visiting your website, or a certain content being watched, then only your ad is actually displayed on a TV which is switched on. So which brings more accountability onto the whole experience of running ads on our platform. And it also takes away the conversation, what Vineet was mentioning was of premiumness, right? So the classical problem in commercial models is that how do you make a profitable business which sustains longer term? So either you discount it or you start with the pricing skimming proposition. Right? You go with the highest price first. So we said, what, we are giving so much flexibility on how you buy and execute media. For that, we need to defend our margins and the benefit of the business longer term. So that's the other thing that we're doing. And with the advent of more and more technology, you've got generative AI, everybody's talking about Gen AI, everybody's talking about creative automation. Now with the Privacy and Data Protection Act, there is heightened awareness on how data has been used. Where we are seeing, at least what you and I are seeing, a lot of decisioning will become automated. Absolutely. Right? Where I think as we get closer to elections next year, a lot of money which was historically very campaign specific will start to go always on, because now you can buy and for a fact that your money is only spent when the conditions are met. So we will see more and more always on, enabled by a lot of these AI tools. Which says, okay, all my conditions are being met and therefore this can go live. And there'll be some bit of automation on the lines of reporting, the insights that you get. Typically, TV insights take 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, once your campaign is over. We've got it down to a day. The plan is to make it real time. So which means within a matter of a couple of hours, your campaign going live, you know exactly where the ads are running, what kind of content people are watching. I think that's what we're building over here with automation.
Absolutely. I think that is, TV is going to be influenced by tech. I think is the largest media that did not get influenced by tech. Sonam, I think this is a question that possibly everybody can jump, and we can start with you. Do you see CTV becoming a channel which possibly either delivers incremental reach, or it's basically going to be used as a channel which is more to be for precision targeting of audiences, as just Priyanka mentioned, that they are just trying to bifurcate the types of product and then go behind the more targeted TG. How do you see CTV maturing as a curve, whether it will be more broad-based targeting or it will be more precision-based targeting? How do you see CTV taking forward as a journey, the pivot?
So I think that's a very good question. And I think I'll take a step back from the industries and the different industries that we work in, more of a medium-based question. When it comes to CTV and when we talk about incremental reach, thereby itself we are actually disassociating it as a different medium. So I think that in itself should not be the first step. Instead of having it as an incremental reach, why can't it be a part of your entire media plan? So I think the first step that we should be taking is to make it as amalgamated as possible into the media plan, and thereby looking at different other mediums to look at your incremental reach rather than disassociating CTV as a separate platform. So I think that in itself should answer the question from my end, that do not disassociate it as a separate medium. Yes, there are separate benefits that it brings to the table, which is precision targeting, which is where you can do different geographies, different target groups, different creatives. You can have a lot of call to actions in it. You can have a lot of performance marketing in it. So the advantages it brings to the table is definitely added, but consider it as a part of your media plan and do not disassociate it.
Perfect. Vineet, you want to take that question?
Absolutely.
Because I don't, you would be coming across this question almost on daily basis.
Yes, absolutely, because I'm working with the three of the largest advertisers that we have today closely in terms of the digital and, in fact, integrated planning approach. And I somewhere agree with Sonam that we also encourage advertisers to do multi-screen planning and not possibly a different horses for courses approach. So CTV will always be a part of your plan. It will take some pie of your plan basis the cost per reach and other gamut of things. However, I would love to place a point that CTV currently is possibly still evolving. And if I look at the internet users at the moment, it is still a 15% roughly. As a first principle of advertising and marketing, it says that you should possibly not slice and dice too much beyond the point because the base itself is small. And hence, we should be mindful of what precision targeting or the level of precision targeting that we are attempting. Because again, there is a good possibility that you might lose out a person just because it's not getting captured as a signal on digital, but eventually he would be the end user. Secondly, adding a last point is, the way we should look at CTV today is, see, currently from a digital ecosystem, mobile is the largest source, right? And it is unlikely that if somebody is consuming CTV, he'll not be consuming mobile also. So CTV will always be a subset, and then how effectively you can use it for possibly the formats that we want to. Like an example is for IPL this year, from a Madison standpoint, we almost sold, or the contribution was almost 70% of our budgets were on CTV versus mobile. Now what it says is, CTV as a placement offered a format where I can do a spot buy instead of an impression buy. And then that was obviously a head turner for everybody saying that, okay, while we can do this on TV, let's do this on CTV as well. And that's why possibly we could then do a choice making between the two. But beyond sports, it has to be multi-screen planning.
I think, Priyanka, this one I think is the best one to answer for CPG, because CPG has always been there for, whenever it was an evolution of digital wanted to be measured, and we possibly always get into the habit of over-measurement. But we've also seen certain conversations where advertisers have asked us for the success metric of the campaign. I think TV was largely measured on the success of the reach and everything. How do you see CTV getting there? Because since TV is going the digital way, do you think there are certain new measurement models that will be need to evolve, because TV cannot be purely measured on digital parallels? TVs will have its own measurement models. How do you see that changing with CTV coming into the play?
So when we are building plans, right, the outcomes are really around what you want to achieve for the brand. So it's not just about breaking down each medium to seeing what is the impact. Like some people say, it is about integrated planning, right? You want to reach your audience for a certain objective, and you're agnostic of, in an ideal world, you're agnostic of what are the screens or what are the touch points that people are using. As much as possible, we are moving towards integrated planning. So while you evaluate each medium from a media metric and what it is bringing, which could be whatever you define as, whether it is, cost per reach or, if your objective is performance, how are they doing on performance? Ultimately, I think what we are looking to see is how does the entire plan deliver the logic of why are you using each one, and that is built audience, brand out, and then you look at a holistic measurement, right? So that's really the, whether you use tracking, and there are various cut downs that we use to keep trying new medium and seeing how each one is adding back to your overall plan. But it is more holistic measurement that, we want to move to, we are moving to, we are trying to move to, while trying to test and while ensuring that we test the efficacy and the performance of each element in the plan.
Perfect. I think Prasad, one of the key questions, I think we'll just wrap it up after this one. One of the key questions that comes is basically the insights of data. And in life, I think it's the best data crunching that you can do when it comes to the life insurance products, because that's a more predictive modeling based on which the products are made of. And TV planning also has a lot of data involved. And how do you see these two, how do you see a culmination of data and analytics evolving when it comes to TV? Because till date, as you just saw, ACR has brought a lot of insights on the foray. How do you see that impacting purely when it comes to the overall TV space as a whole? Not only in terms of buying, but so much data that is available today to a marketeer. What sort of decision making can it can influence of?
In fact, more the data is better. That's what the situation today. And when I say data, not just the getting discrete data points from each platform separately, but getting insights out of the platform is more important. Correct. So TV, traditionally what has happened that you get to know the impact later on. It's normally not a channel which will give you the instant sales volume and everything. Might be different scenario for FMCG, but otherwise it doesn't give an instant result. It takes longer time for people to understand your product and accordingly react to the product, and you start seeing the sales cycle slightly behind that of your media spends. But once you have all the data points, and when it comes to the proper targeting of the customers and checking whether you are reaching out to your target audiences, I think that will add a lot of value. In current scenario, which will remain for connected TVs as well, I really don't know who is actually watching that television screen, correct? That's the biggest challenge what currently we have. We might assume that this person is my target segment, basis the type of television he is using, basis the kind of content he is consuming, but it might not be my target audience, because life insurance I have restrictions, correct? I can give product above a certain income level.
Perfect.
I can give a product about a certain age level.
Yeah.
But that information currently from a connected TV ecosystem is not available from a television ecosystem as well, completely. So it will evolve slowly. Moment you have more logged in users as compared to casual users, then you'll start receiving a lot more insights out of it. And then the entire equation changes the way we are targeting and approaching the target.
Amazing. I think Vineet had a narrative around co-viewing as a play. I think he's going to conclude with that.
Sure. So, Vikram, in fact, the way we look at co-viewing, and obviously traditionally it's looked at one device is consumed by close to 4 people, or 3.9 to be precise. The way on digital, on connected TV, it's looked upon is close to 2 to 2.5, purely because connected TV is still not completely, but is still fairly nuclear family phenomena, or possibly one that you don't just have in your living room, but also in your bedrooms, right? And hence, a factorization of 2.5 is something that we should look at. On the contrary, say your walled gardens and giants would come with a certain number, but practically it won't be more than 3, and it shouldn't be less than 2. So that's the way we should look at.
Perfect. I think it was a very insightful panel. We had an amazing discussion around all all the diverse opinions that we had. But possibly seeing a more bullish future on CTV. It is here to stay, and I think TV is going to fundamentally change in the next 2 to 5 years for all of us as marketeers and tech platforms. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. I think it was a pleasure exchanging opinions with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for this wonderful panel. Thank you so much for the wonderful insights and the knowledge. Request you all to kindly assemble for a photo opportunity. And ladies and gentlemen, we can continue to clap. I think that was indeed a wonderful session. The first panel discussion of the day. We can cheer it a little more. Yes, perfect.